Okay. I'm back. Sounds so silly. Hi, friends. Maria again, a knitter, a Romanian knitter living in Norway. And after 2 months, I am able to make a new episode. And thank God, because if a month or two would have passed, I think I would have had the longest knitting podcast episode you have ever thought about it. So, in my defense, oops, I have to say that I've made an episode in February, but my microphone died. I mean, didn't need to be charged, just decided that he or she does not want to live anymore with me. So I've said goodbye, thank you for one wonderful year I had with you. It's time to find a replacement. So here I am with a new microphone. I know nothing about technology, but on this box here, it says that it's doing just magical things. Well, it's not washing and cleaning the house, but it does the rest of it. So let's hope this will work because I have so much to talk about it, and I had to decide on what I should talk about it and to leave aside for another episode what I won't talk about it today. Anyway, this is the craziest intro, which is not actually an intro. So, again, hi everybody. I am so happy to be here again. Today is Sunday, March 9th. It's crazy. We are almost halfway through March. And I have my house only for myself, my husband, my son, our dog. They are out, which is great. I will go out also after 12 o'clock. We have an eating cafe in the center of Bergen, and I'm going. I don't know anybody, but I'm a knitter. I mean, that's it. Yes, for those of you who are new here, usually I'm not that, yeah, effervescent, but I'm just so happy to be here. My name is Maria. I am 43. I am from Romania, but I live in Norway since May 2022, and I am a knitter. I am a crazy knitter. I think at this point, well, it's not true, but it just feels that I cast on every possible project out there in the knitting community. But that's that. I made peace with the fact that me becoming a monogamous knitter, it's just a dream for the moment. It's still a goal, but I don't know if it will ever happen. So, um, let's talk about what I will talk about today. I have, I'm so ashamed. I have 5 finished objects. In my defense, one is actually finished last year in October, and it was a secret test knit that I can talk about today. And I don't even know how many works in progress I have. I think I have 4 or 5 at least. So, not wasting more time, let's get right into it. So, I am wearing one of my finished objects, and I'm so happy that one of my last year projects that I took with me in 2025, it is finished. It is absolutely wonderful, a joy to wear, and it was a joy to knit, to be honest. So this is my second river cardigan. This is a pattern by Sandnes Garn, the Norwegian, one of the Norwegian yarn producer. And this time I've made a, as you can see, very cropped version. Maybe I feel like I still don't know what cropped it works for me. I feel this is too cropped, but when I have volume on my dresses, it goes very well. If I don't have that much volume, then I need to make it like 5 centimeters longer than it is now. But for my volume dresses, it grows perfectly. Now, apart of the fact that I've made it cropped, the only modification that I've made, it was instead of a 2 by 2 cuff, just like you can see here on the hem, I've made, I think, like 8 rows of double knitting, but this time I did not increase. So I've used those 40 and something stitches. I went down 1 needle size. So you knit in general this cardigan with 4 millimeter needles, but for the cuff, I've used 3 millimeter. So I just, with the, after I've made all the decreases and I reached the length I wanted, I just made 8 rows in double knitting, and then a tubular bind off, and then that's it. And it creates this very nice and fitted cuff, which I wanted. And as you can see, I've made, I would say, almost a brace length sleeve, and I love it. I think I love it. No, I don't think. I know I love it. Silly things to say. And I've made size 1. So for my first one, I've made size 2. And for my first one, I've used the original yarns. This time I went also for yarn from Sarnes Garn, which is, I think it is called recycled tweed. And it's, if I'm not wrong, I think it's 95% wool and 5% cashmere, something like that. It's one of the most expensive yarn from Sanya's Garn. Of course, I think the most expensive is the, I'm out of breath, the mohair. Believe it or not, this, for this one, I had to buy one more skein, and I actually have it here, what I have. This is everything I have left over. So I've used 6 balls of yarn, which means 300 grams. And I didn't make it that crop just because I didn't want to buy more yarn. I did it like this because I already have a much longer version, and I thought it will be nice because I love the fit of this cardigan. It would be nice to have one especially for my dresses. And if I would have need more, of course, to finish the garment, I would have got another ball. I mean, I already got 6, so one more. Yeah, it is what it is. But still, cables takes more yarn than stockinette, of course. So it's just, okay, can you say this? I'm all over the place. I feel this will be a fiasco episode, but this is for my microphone. What is doing on my hand? It's just a mystery. Anyway, so 6 balls of yarn I've used. Now I'm very happy. This yarn, it is such a wonderful yarn. It is soft if you like, or if you don't tolerate very rustic wool. This is very soft. And I am so happy I choose to make size 1 in the pattern because I love the fit. I wanted something without positive ease, and I think I got it. And fun fact is that no matter how much you want a fitted garment, the garment still will grow a little bit with wearing, which is absolutely normal. So I knew that Um, if I'm making a size that technically would be with no ease, I will still get at least 1 to 10 centimeters with wearing, which I got, and it's absolutely wonderful. It's so light, and it feels just, yeah, wonderful. And I love this color, I have to say. I still don't know what my colors are, so again, I gave up on thinking, okay, maybe I should work just neutrals, maybe I should work more pastels, maybe I should work more earthy tones. I will work whatever I will feel, and that's it. I don't want to stress about it. I just want to enjoy the knitting process, and I want to enjoy the garments I am making and wearing. One thing I've noticed about me as a knitter and the changes I'm going through, the more garments I'm making, the more, and I don't know if it is necessarily a good thing, the more perfection I want to achieve. Perfection means a garment that will fit well my body. And I think on one hand it's a silly thing to achieve, to desire to achieve, but on the other hand, I know it is possible. Well, maybe not 100% perfection, but still a very, very, very good looking garment, and with very good finishing, and yeah, something that people will can have a hard time to, maybe this is store bought, so they don't really know if it is handmade or not, which I know it's not everybody's goal, but I'm spending so much time from my life doing these garments that I think it's absolutely normal to want them to fit me as I dream. I love the buttons. I will try to stand up, but I don't come so close because I don't think it will focus. But they are just metal buttons. I think I got them too small, so I will keep this just in case I will need to change the buttons. Other than that, I don't think I have nothing more to say about it. I love it. I cannot recommend this pattern enough. It is my favorite pattern so far in terms of fitting and instructions and clarity. And both times I've made this pattern in Norwegian. I am so proud of myself for being able to follow the pattern in a language that I'm still learning. Yeah. Um, I've made a Ravelry account. Uh, uh, the name of my account, it is Knitter in Norway. I will link it below, and you will find the projects I'm talking about listed, and with details about yarn, colors, quantity, size, and pattern, and if I've made some modification. I think it's better like this because I think in my last two videos I still don't have details in the description below. But once I will have my projects on my Ravelry, I will go back and link my Ravelry so everybody can see details about it. I think that's it for this. And I love it with this dress, which is a new dress I got this week from Off On Clothing. I think they are based in Slovakia or something. So these are made in not close, but in Europe. So I'm so happy because they did the modifications I wanted, and it just turned out perfect. So I cannot recommend this enough. It's a linen dress, and I love this plaid. I think it's my favorite now. Okay, my next finished object, and I won't insist too much about it because there is so much to talk about it. It is a test knit I've made for Sarah Solomon, or Into the Wool, one of my favorite designers. With, yeah, I can say this with all my heart. I test knitted this cardigan, which is Thuja, if I'm pronouncing correctly, cardigan, that it will be featured, and I think it's out. It's in Lane magazine, issue 24, and I was so happy for her because her pattern was the cover of the issue. So this is such an interesting construction. It is worked bottom up by pieces and sew. You need to sew the pieces together. And here at the shoulder, it has this very interesting method of joining the back with the front at the shoulder. It's the first time I've made this, and oh my god, this designer, it is so talented. And then you pick up stitches and work the sleeves back and forth, and at the end so you need to sew this. This is a 3/4 sleeve, and I think I test knitted size 4, which gave me like 120 centimeters, and it's oversized, but it's very nice. With the permission of the designer, I've made 2 modifications for mine. So I've made a very cropped version. I actually worked on the body the lace repeat, just I think 6 times. In the pattern you need to work more to reach the length, she says. And another modification was to make the bottom band in double knitting, because it's not in double knitting, but I'm just so obsessed with the bottom band that I just from the start I choose to make it no matter what in double knitting, no matter what the pattern it says. Yeah, and this is a fingering yarn, and you work the main body, the lace part, with 3.5 millimeter needles. Now, I didn't use the original yarn, which I think, if I'm pronouncing correctly, I think it's Mayak yarns or something, and I think they're based in USA, and I don't buy yarns from USA because the cost of the shipping and the taxes I need to pay here, they are just overwhelming, which is a shame because I would love to try so many beautiful yarns, but unfortunately it's just not worthing the expenses. Yeah, we live in a crazy world. Yeah, so she gave some suggestions from Sonia's Garn, which will be alpaca silk and I think thin linen. But these yarns, they had the same gauge as thin peer gynt. So I got thin peer gynt, and I've used thin peer gynt, and I'm very happy. I'm planning to make another one. This time I want to go down 1 or even 2 sizes, and I think I will work like at least 3 4 centimeters longer in the body. And yes, I just want to have another one because, yeah, this is such a beautiful pattern. It has such a beautiful texture. I mean, it's a lace stitch, but it's not uh, that gapey. So it has the look of the lace, but also the texture of, uh, yeah, a different stitch. I just love it. And yeah, just always so amazed about the techniques Sarah Solomon is putting in the patterns and the final result. So if you are looking for patterns that will give you a very good fit according to your body, I'm sorry, I got distracted by birds. I suggest to give it a try to the knitting patterns that are knit by piece. It's the best fit you will get. Yes. So I think I've used, I don't remember exactly, but I think I've used almost 5 or 4, yeah, I think 4 balls of yarn. I need to weight this. Anyway, not more than 5. And thin peer gynt, I think, in my opinion, it is a very affordable yarn considering the quality. And I think it's what I like about it. It's not only that it's wool, but it's Norwegian wool. Unfortunately, I know that Sandnes Garn it's not using Norwegian wool for all the yarns, but they are using for thin peer, for peer gynt and thin peer gynt. They are using Norwegian wool, so uh, that's something I'm always taking in consideration because I really want to use Norwegian wool for so many reasons, for the great quality, but also to support the farmers here. I know that my what I am buying it doesn't mean it will save the farmers or they, but I think like me we are many and together we can do such a good thing to support the farmers here in Norway. Yes, Uh, this is my second finished object, Thuja cardigan. I totally recommend it. If you are looking for an interesting lace cardigan, that it can be a very beautiful summer cardigan if you are into the plant-based yarns. I think you have plenty to choose, and you will have a very nice cardigan, full length, cropped, whatever you want. And it's so beautiful over the dresses, but if you make the long version I think it will be such a nice piece for, I don't know, skirt and pants and whatever you feel. Yes. Okay, so this is my second finished object. I'm very proud of it. I like it and definitely I will make another one. Now let's talk about my next finished object. And if you are follow me on Instagram, you probably already saw this. So this is another project that I carried with me from 2024 in 2025 that I finished in January. And I'm very happy. So this is my second time knitting the Copenhagen cardigan by Petite Knit. Again, this is in my Ravelry and I explain some things there, what I have done. This cardigan is haunting me. I have a love-hate relationship with this cardigan. So far, I just did not found the perfect raglan cardigan. It, it's always something on one, something on other, something on another one that does not work for me. Now, this does not work either with all the modifications I've made. However, I will soon cast on my third one because there is still a modification I didn't make, and I will explain to you. So first, I've made size 3 using yarn that I unraveled from another project that were that had cables and bubbles. So it was a nightmare to unravel that project, but I did it. The yarn is one thread of Thuja mohair from Filcolana and one thread of Noble, not Noble, Noble is the yarn, but it's from Knoll yarns. It's just a wool from UK that they are selling at cones or 50 grams or 100 grams or however how much you need. So I've made size 3. Now I will try to explain very fast a couple of the modifications I've made. First of all, after you cast on the stitches, you immediately start to work the neckline. I didn't do this. So I cast on my stitches and immediately started to increase for the raglan. Another modification, after you work the raglan, the neckline, and begin the raglan, there are some short rows that are happening in this part here, close to the neckline. I skipped that, so I just increase for the raglan. Now, when I reach the point where I had to split the sleeve stitches from the body, I worked 14 short rows. Yes. For me, it's weird to say 14. In my mind, I work 7 because I count one row on the wrong side and one on the right side as a row. Actually, you cannot do one without another, right? So, but in the patterns, they say row 1, right side, row 2, wrong side. So here I am. I've made 14, but in my mind are just 7. Okay, then in the pattern, you work the bottom band together with the rest of the cardigan. I didn't do that. So when I cast on at the beginning, I cast on with less the number of stitches I needed to have also for the bottom bands. So I had less with, I think, 12 stitches. One thing I don't like about this pattern is the number of stitches you need to cast on. In my opinion, I think there are too many stitches, even on the smaller size. That's that. This pattern have been updated in terms of sizes, but I just don't know why she didn't fix these problems. I mean, the cardigan is very beautiful. Once you make it, it's absolutely gorgeous. But once you wear it, it grows that neckline. It's almost, from the previous I have, almost falling off my shoulder, which is crazy. And those short rows are not enough for this cardigan because it's always rising on the neck, the front. At least this is what happened to me. So it's a nice pattern, but I feel it needs some help. Okay, so another modification, I did not do the 1x1 ribbing hem. I've just made like 2.5 centimeters of double knitting. And then before, how did I do this? Let me just remember. Oh yes, yes. After finishing the body, I picked up stitches for the neckline. The same number of stitches I already had from the cast on. And I work again short rows. As you can see, it's the back is very high comparing with the front. And believe it or not, it's not enough. Because this part is the problem, that it's sitting here. Anyway, after the short rows, I've made some increases. I think I increased in every third stitch. And then I worked like 8 rows in double knitting. And then I just tubular bind off. And at the end, I picked up stitches for the bottom bands. Yeah. On the sleeves, I also didn't do the one by one ribbing. After all the decreases were made, I just work again 8 rows in double knitting, and that's it. Now, I think I increased some stitches for the hem, but I'm not sure. I don't remember. I don't know if you understood something from my rumbling here with this cardigan. In conclusion, this that I've made, it looks much nicer when you're wearing this open than closed. I will start a third one, and what I thought to do is to be able to lower a different in a different way this here at the neckline, the front actually. And I think I will cast on for the front just one stitch. And I think I will cast on one stitch at the beginning of, not at the beginning, at the end of every row. I think I will try this too. If it will turn out how I imagine, I think I will have the perfect recipe for me to make a raglan stockinette stitch cardigan, which is my goal. Of course, it's not my pattern, but I want to modify it so I make sure that whenever I feel the need to make a new Copenhagen cardigan, I will end up with one that I really, really love to wear. Now, I have an issue. I don't know if you can see here and on the front and on the other sleeve and on the back, I have like a stripe in a different green color. And I don't know what happened because I had the same dye lot for the yarn. I think it's because of when I unraveled, I think something happened with the mohair. I think some of the fluff just disappeared. I don't know, something happened. Although I don't feel it much thinner. I don't know, it's just something happened and I didn't notice until I washed this. So yeah, this is happening when you work this in the winter with um, with much less daylight, and you have this yellow light here. It's very hard to see, but yeah, that's what happened to this. Overall, I'm happy with it, And definitely this will last longer than the previous one I've made that I still have to unravel. I love the length of the sleeves. I love the length of the cardigan. It goes so well with one of my dresses. I'm so happy. Um, Overall, I think another thing that I don't like about this cardigan and has nothing to do with the pattern is that I have mohair. But this is something I cannot change. I knew from the beginning, once I will unravel that project, that I will have another garment with mohair. And I have no problem with mohair as finding hard to wear, or the only problem I have with mohair is the static electricity I get around me. And it's so weird. I cannot touch everything, or if I'm touching it, I'm finding myself, oh my God, no. So it's very funny. So this is the only reason. Yesterday I went out with my husband and we drove like 100 kilometers till until a small town. It's more like a place where people can go and ski. And there was one yarn shop, and they had some knitting for olive. I didn't buy anything, but I was seeing the mohair from knitting for olive displayed, and oh my God, what such gorgeous colors. And I was just, my husband said, why don't you buy it? I would love to. But you remember that green cardigan when we went out? You couldn't touch me because you had static electricity. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. That's it. Oh, okay, okay. So maybe you can find something else. So he doesn't like it too. But the colors, guys, the colors were just all the browns and greens and rust, and they were amazing, but I cannot work with this. So this is my third finished object, and I have more. So that's that. I don't know where to put this. My next finished object, it was a very speedy project. I saw on Instagram a cable cardigan that was released. I think it's a new pattern, really. Yeah, I think it's a recent pattern. So this is the Sibilla cardigan, and this is a pattern from Cookie the Knitter, and she's very new to me designer. Uh, and it's a top down drop shoulder cable pattern. Um, I when I saw this pattern, I've already knew what yarn I want to use. And this is Isayer Aran Tweed. I got 5 skins, so they come like this. I think it's 100 grams. Yeah, 100 grams, 160 meters. It's 100% wool. And I got 5. This is does not have a number, but it has just name. It's just black. And so I got 500 grams, but I had to buy one more. And this is everything I have left because it was not enough. So it's crazy how much yarn this cardigan took me. And it's it's not light. It has 600 grams. But I don't regret it. I just love it. So this is the front of the cardigan, And this is the back of the cardigan. This is one of the most, I feel like it's one of the best written patterns I have ever made. It's very clear. I mean, very clear. It has, I don't know how many sizes, because I don't talk about size in, how do you say, inclusivity? Size inclusivity. And not because I don't care about people who need maybe bigger sizes or smaller sizes, because this is also a problem, is because I don't believe in a pattern being necessary size inclusive. But I do believe in modifications, and I do believe that every pattern can be modified, adjust to our bodies. That's it. Okay, so you start at the back. Of course, you work increases, and then until, yeah, the designer will tell you. And then you pick up for the fronts, work increases, shaping this part here, and then you join back and front and continue the body. You pick up separately and work the sleeves in the round. It has this moss stitch panel on the side and on the sleeve too, and all the decreases are happening in the moss stitch section, which makes it very easy. The cables are not difficult. However, at this part here, at the beginning and the end of the row, um, after a certain number of rows, there is just on the last 4 or 5 stitches, it's a little bit uncomfortable because you need to cable, but at the same time you decrease, at the same time you have to increase. So I think that was the most uncomfortable part. It's not difficult. It's just I always had to remember how to do this at the beginning and how to do it at the end, because you do it differently. Other than that, no problem. The fit of the cardigan, it is absolutely wonderful. It has this beautiful line here when from where I picked up stitches for the fronts. And as you can see, this is not falling off on right on the shoulder. It's falling on the back of the cardigan, but it has this beautiful. I don't know if you can see. See this shape. It is absolutely wonderful. Uh, the only modification I've made is to change the buttonholes and the neckline. I think in the pattern it is 1 by 1 ribbing. I hope to not mistake this, but I think it's 1 by 1 ribbing, and I didn't want. Yeah, I had to make some adjustment because I was afraid of this neckline that it will be too high and it will be too small, and I will feel suffocated, but it's not the case. I've made the neckline in double band, double knitting, and I had to increase stitches. I explained this on my Ravelry. Yeah, and I got some metal buttons, which I might regret later because these are also metal buttons, but I think they are too small. However, I realized that I have a couple of garments with metal buttons that I didn't wash since I put the buttons. And I am afraid when I will wash them at a washing machine that these buttons will break my glass door from the washing machine. Maybe I should put this in. Yeah, I think I will buy some those special sack. It's a special thing that you put the garment, just like you are washing the bras. And I will put the sweater in, but I'm afraid to not felt it. I don't know. I don't know. I will see at the time. I don't know. Yeah, this was a very fast project for me. I mean, I've done this under 3 weeks. I just couldn't stop. One was the yarn. It was an absolutely joy to work with this yarn. Two, it was the pattern itself, the way it was written, the way it looks more complicated than it actually it is. I love the fit. I have to say I messed up. I always forget to not pick up one stitch of every row um, in the one by one ribbing hem section and a little bit higher, like 2 3 centimeters, because it will pull down just like this. I don't know if you can see, but I don't mind in real life. I'm not expecting the bottom bun to be absolutely perfect. It is what it is. Nothing I can do about it. And of course, having metal buttons that doesn't help because they are heavy. Yeah, but that's okay. I really don't mind. I'm not expecting to be perfect in this area. I'm expecting to be perfect in terms of fitting, you know. I love this project. I really love it. I've made size 2 in the pattern because I did not want positive ease again. It will go so nice with the dresses. And I knew once I will start to wear this, it will grow. And it grew a little bit, you know. I mean, it really grew. I was very curious to see how this it will block because it's a cable pattern, and I wanted to see if um, the cables will pop out, and I think they do, even if it is a black and with tweeds. I think you can still see the texture of the cardigan. I I love it, guys. I had to add on the sleeves. I had to add like this because I've made exactly like the pattern said, but once I finished, I did not have the length that the pattern was telling me, which was also the length I wanted and I usually make, yeah, before doing the hem. So yeah, I think I had to add like this, which was quite a lot. Again, this is not a very long sleeve. It is a little bit longer than this, but still not, it's not coming here. And I love it. I didn't want um, to have it the other way. Um, I totally recommend this pattern, guys. This is such a beautiful pattern. One more thing, if you are new here, maybe you don't know, but I don't swatch. Guys, this is a cardigan for which I didn't swatch. Yes. And not only this, in the pattern, the recommended needle is 5.5 millimeter, but I've used 5 millimeter because I felt that for my yarn it was better 5 millimeter. I didn't even try to work with 5.5. This Aran tweed, it's not necessarily a thin and thick yarn, but from time to time you can feel it is a little bit thinner and then it change. But it's not so visible, but you can feel it when you work with it. Yes. So this is Sibilla cardigan, and I I am so happy with this. I love this garment. I really love. Um, Again, for many people, I guess to work something in black with cables does not make sense, but this is not the darkest black. I mean, it for me, how I see it now, it's more a very dark charcoal gray, because it, I don't know how this fiber is spun, or how do you call it, but I think it has also a light um, fiber in it. So yeah, it's not very, very, very black color. I love it. I really, really love it. I I totally recommend this pattern. If you want to give it a try, it has a good fit. It has big needles, which means you can see progress with every 2-3 rows. 2-3 rows, you see the progress. And it's wonderful. And I'm sure it's wonderful with the original neckline and bottom band. Um, there's nothing wrong with it. This change modification is just my personal preference and nothing else. I think I've said everything about it. Yeah, I love it. And I'm so happy I have it. Now, let's talk about my last finished object, which is nothing you have seen in this podcast. I went to Hillesvåg, Ulvarefabrikk, a few weeks ago with my husband. From time to time, we like to go on that road, and because Hillesvåg is there, I'm going and see the yarns, and maybe something will talk to me. This time, because every time I went, I forgot. I said, I need to see the samples. I need to get inspiration. And I tried some samples. And the first one was this, that I just fall in love. I fall in love, literally. Oh my God, guys, look at this beautiful one. This is a design by Augustine's Decay, and it's a collection of sweaters that she designed especially for Hillesvåg, which means that if you are interested and you go on Hillesvåg website, you can find the patterns also in English and other languages. This is the collection that is called Forår. I will write it, or I will link it. And it has many versions and patterns. And this is the feminine um, um, version, because the pattern has two versions. One is unisex, so it can be made for both woman or man. But I've choose to make this because I envision myself wearing this with dresses. Now, I've made size 2, and I hold 2 strands together. The recommended yarn, the main yarn, is Luna from Hillesvåg, and this is the color that it was originally in the pattern. And this is the color. This is melon brun. It's brown, but it's half brown. How do you say melon brown? It's a light brown. Let's say like this. This is color 56 451. Now, in the pattern, it says to use this yarn together with 1 strand of Isayer mohair. It was gorgeous, the sample I tried. It was absolutely gorgeous, but just the thought of mohair, and you didn't need that much, at least for my size. I've made size 2. And I thought, I don't want to do it with mohair. However, my sample, it does not have the color that it was there, and I wanted that color. And that was such a stupid mistake, because I could have changed this in a different brown to achieve that color. So what I did, I paired this with alpaca one from Isair. And for some reason, I didn't realize that when you pair it with alpaca, alpaca does not take over the other thread. When you work a thread with mohair, mohair takes over the other thread. It didn't happen here. They blended, but the color change is very subtle. I don't know if you can see, or maybe it's not even nothing changed. And I got so upset because this cardigan I test knitted, it has almost the same shade. My Alvar pullover has almost the same shade. My crop cardigan from Sarah Solomon has almost the same shade. And now I have this in almost the same shade. How is it possible for me to make 4 pieces almost in the same color? And it's not even my favorite color, you know. However, I will just have to get over it. And this is a pattern I want to make it again in a different color, and that's it. I will not complain about the color, I promise. Now, this is made with 6mm needles. So this gorgeous just flew off my needles. I mean, yeah, this is another project that I made in 2 weeks. The cables are simple. You don't need to follow the chart once you figure out how they work. And all the yoke and a little bit of the sleeves is made in 1x1 ribbing. Now, one of the favorite parts are the neckline, the cuff, and the hem. This is a folded hem, cuffs, and neckline in 2x2 ribbing. And I think the result is just such a beautiful and interesting texture. I just love it. I really love it. And it goes perfectly with my dresses. I did not change anything in this pattern except one thing, but it has nothing to do with the pattern or the stitches or the looking of the look of the sweater. If you have been here before, you might remember that I have an obsession because I don't like wide sleeves on my garments. Guess what? I love the sleeves of this garment. I mean, I don't think this garment will look so interesting without this voluminous, I think this is the word in English, sleeves. I mean, it's absolutely gorgeous. Just as I really believe that this sweater will not look the same without the folded cuff, hem, and neckline. So everything, it is so well, in my opinion, it's this pattern is so well, it's a perfect thinking, because I think this is such a modern and cool and cozy and pattern. It's absolutely wonderful. And of course you can make it longer. Of course you have another suggestion of yarn, but guys, this is something, this is a yarn that you can replace so easy. Although if you have the chance to work with this, I totally recommend you. This is lamb's wool, and it is soft. It is beautiful. Um, and it's a joy to work with. And they have so many colors. It's very hard to choose colors. Although I enjoy going to Hillesvåg, I know once I step in, so I'm going there with an idea of what color I want to buy, and I'm living there with colors that I never thought about it. So that's that. When you have 3, 4 walls from the floor to up with yarns and colors, it's impossible to go with what you thought about it. But that's okay. I can go another time and pick up another color. So this is Forår number 2. I love it. So it's a drop shoulder, but you actually don't start here at the neckline. And this is something you can change in the pattern. I think with provisional cast on, it would have been just perfect. You start with a Judy magic cast on here, and you work from here up, and then you pick up from here for the fronts and here, and then join here, and then continue with the front, and then join front and back and work down the body. The sleeves are worked in the round. The only modification I've made is that on the inside, you have to, once you work the length the pattern recommends for the cuff, hem, and neckline, you need to pick up stitches and bind off together with the stitches you have worked. I didn't do that. I just bind off and I sewn this. This is how I am doing. I trust my the way I'm sewing this, and I'm confident it will go well. And this is what I did for the hem, for the neckline, and for the cuffs. Yes, I love this. I totally recommend this pattern. I think it's so fancy. It's so fancy for me, at least. It's crazy, but it's absolutely beautiful. And I know I would love to come back to this pattern to make it in a different color because it is absolutely gorgeous. And this was my last finished object. Okay, I just had to warm a little bit my coffee because I talked so much that it's just crazy. Hold on, I need to check if this is filming. I hope so. Let's hope so. Okay, guys, now I will talk a little bit about the projects I have on my needles, but I won't get so much into details. I will talk just about how I feel the project, the yarn I'm using, the size I'm making. And once I will finish and come back with a new podcast, and I will have them as a finished object, I will talk more in detail. Okay. Let me put this here. And I will start with what I actually worked this week. And this is a project I have with me from the last year, and it's a special one because it is made with yarn that I got from my dear friend Sinje for Christmas. She gave me Christmas card, with a value, and I, of course, I paid the difference for the yarn. This is my future sweater number 20. It is 20. Yeah, sweater number 20 by my, I think she changed the name. I think it's my favorite things knitwear. Yeah, my favorite things knitwear. And I am working this pattern holding two strands together. Again, no gauge swatch for this. One strand is alpaca wool from Sandnes Garn. This is color 5585 and it's a dark blue tweed. I have a thing for tweed now. And the other strand is alpaca fölgetrö, which is a lace. It's not quite the same color, but they are blending so well together. Now, in terms of sizing, I'm doing size 1 because this is a sweater with a huge amount of positive is that I didn't want. And the yarn I am using, as you can see, it stretches so much. And I think it will give me just the enough amount of positive ease I need at this time of my life. This was a very enjoyable project. Unfortunately, it didn't get so much attention because of everything I have on my needles, and I've already made this in this very dark indigo, and working on a second dark blue project was not that motivating, but now it is. What I've managed to do is to finish my fronts, because last time I talked about it, I think I was still working on the back, I think in January. This is my New Year cast on. And now I am working on the body. I will make it a little bit longer than the pattern says, because she says in the pattern that this project is growing width, but not in length. So I would love to have this for jeans. And actually, I am dreaming of buying black jeans because I have only 2 pairs. I don't wear that much pants, but they are blue, and I think light blue with dark blue, it's not quite what I want. So I will try to find a pair of black jeans, simple ones that I can wear with this, and not only with this, of course. This is a very easy pattern. I mean, it's easy. I'm using the recommended needles, which are 5.5 millimeters. So again, big number of needles means a lot of project in a short amount of time. I love it. It's very enjoyable. And now that I finished other projects, I will make more progress on this. However, I'm quite happy with how it looks so far. And I cannot wait to work that gorgeous, gorgeous neckline. Yeah. But first I need to finish the body. I hope I have enough yarn. I think I have 9 balls of alpaca wool, but if I need more, I will buy more. What? It is what it is. I think I will make some modifications to the sleeve. I didn't read the sleeve sections, but I saw pictures and the sleeves are very wide, and I don't think I want that. But also I don't think it's something complicated to just make decreases. Yes, this is size 1, as I've said. No gauge swatch, just working through the pattern, and I'm confident it will turn out exactly how I want. You have to pay attention here when you are picking up stitches for the fronts to match the cables. And I'm very happy with my result. I had to come back on one of the fronts, on the first I've made, to match the stitches. I had to actually, to match them, I had to pick up like 3 extra and then to decrease and to have them align, and it works so well. And I love this project. I don't know if I should take this with me today at my knitting journey. I will see. I want to take a moment to show you the project back. I'm holding this project. So I found a lovely and talented person here in Norway. I will link her below because she doesn't know I have a podcast. She doesn't know I will talk about it. This is not an ad. I paid for it. She's making these bags, and these are absolutely gorgeous. This is a linen fabric, and it's doubled. She made something, I don't know. I'm not sewing and I have no experience, but this is very nice and sturdy. Um, there is a pocket here, there is a pocket here, and there are 2 inside. I love them, and I got them not only to put my knitting projects. I'm using this in my daily life, and I have 3 from her. They are absolutely gorgeous, and they worth every penny or Norwegian kroner I paid for it. I totally recommend it. I will try to link her website or Instagram, and if you are interested, you can check her out. She's doing such a nice job, and yeah, I'm very happy with the result. Yes, this is my first project. My next one. Oh, my next one. It's one that this morning I decided to unravel. Yes, and this is another bag I have from her. Her name on Instagram is Nature Posé. Look at this. This is such a gorgeous bag. Okay, so I think last year in November, I was decided to make for me a project that was in the back of my mind for many months. And that was the November jacket by Petite Knit. I actually worked at this in the morning, and I try it, and I don't like it. So I have a problem with my back, and my back is not straight anymore, starting from here. So it's like this. And this, it has this shape here at the back, like this. And when I saw in the mirror my back, it was like the first thing you see when I'm wearing this is actually how deformed is my back. And I didn't like it. And also I felt so, we all have all kind of insecurities regarding the way we look. And I have them too. There are so many. However, at the same time, I just made peace with my body because, for example, now that I lost almost 20 kilograms, my skin here, it's looking very old here. And I'm doing massage, and I'm using a good quality face cream to hydrate my skin. But I'm 43, so I see with every year how I am changing. So I'm getting old. I'm growing old. And last year I've learned and I work with myself to embrace this. This is nothing I can do about it. Instead of being afraid of getting old, I want to embrace this, because at the end of the day, getting old, it is a privilege. And I want to embrace my age and to welcome as it comes, because it's mine. And maybe some of us, we are getting old not that fast. Maybe some of us, we are getting old faster. I want to feel comfortable with me, my skin, my body, my age. But although I want to be comfortable, I don't want to need something that will remind me in every second of my insecurities. And unfortunately, this project, it does. And I don't want to end up with a garment, and whenever I'm wearing this garment, to think about my problem with my back, because there is nothing I can do with my back anymore, you know. Um, and this is the reason I decided to unravel this. And at some point, I know I will find another pattern to make a long cardigan for me, to have it in the spring and in the autumn. But I guess it's not this one. Although it's a beautiful pattern, um, it won't work for me. And that's too bad. But that's okay. I will unravel. And I already have projects in my mind that I can use this yarn. And by the way, this is Fivel. This is the yarn that they, Reuma garn. They launched this yarn last year, and it's lamb's wool, and it's feels like a blown yarn. It is absolutely gorgeous, and I might cast on the Dagmar sweater with a folded neck. I might. Yeah. So this is not working for me. And this morning I've decided it's not worth it to work something that it won't give me a joy to wear it. But au contraire, how the French people are saying, it will remind me all these insecurities that I work so hard to overcome them. Okay, my next project, it is actually my most active project, and is sitting in another bag, my third bag from Nature Posé. I think it's actually in Norwegian. I think it's Natur Pusa. Natur Pusa. Yeah. Pusa means bag. Okay. Yeah. Linen also. It's wonderful. So, I recently started to go at a knitting night that it happens on every Thursday. Well, this week didn't happen, but that's okay. I don't need to go every time. So it is at a yarn store in the center of Bergen, which it calls Stryk I Steinkjelleren. I think you pronounce it. I'm not sure, but it's a wonderful store, and they sell a lot of Isager yarns. And there was a yarn that got my attention, not now, but from last year, and I didn't know what to do with it, and I always said, okay, I will buy it in another time. So here it is. This is Isager Highland wool, and this is the color sky, so it doesn't have numbers. And this, it actually has like a light lila, dark lila, or bluish lila. It has a little bit, just a pop of pink and yellow and green, and it's there are so many colors in this. And I thought, okay, it's time to cast on one of the projects I had plans and I didn't feature in my episode with what I would love to knit. And this is the Billy cardigan by Sari Nordlund. And I've made a huge progress. I'm holding the yarn double. Again, did not swatch for this. I'm using the same number of needles as the pattern recommends, and I'm doing size 3. And it looks small, but it's not. Or I hope it will not be. So this is a top-down raglan, and I'm working on the body. I think I need to make like at least 3-4 more repeats of the chart, which are 8 rows, and then to work the hem. This is the back. Trust me, I tried this and it fits. It looks small, but this yarn will just, can you see how much it stretch? And with washing it will stretch. I will do modifications on the neckline because this is very wide, and she says in the pattern that once you pick up the stitches for the neckline, it won't stay that wide. But how I see it in a picture is that type of neckline that it will grow in time. So I will do my thing once I reach that part. This is such an easy pattern that it's amazing. It looks complicated, but it actually, in the chart, you have just 2 rows out of 8 that you are cabling. The rest of it is just purl and knit, and that's it. Another modification, which is nothing to affect the pattern, is that she recommends the first and the last stitch to work it in gather stitch. I don't do this. I work in stockinette stitch because I will love more when I will pick up stitches for my bottom bands. Yes. Now, I had 7 balls of this. This is my 3rd and 4th. I still have 3. I might not have enough. I will see. I might not find the same dye lot. I will see. I don't want to think about it so far. But I think I will use this to see how far I go with the body. And if I'm not finishing with the body, which I think I will work the sleeves, which I normally don't do. I like to finish the body and then do the sleeves. But I might want to do the sleeve first, just to use the same dye lot on the sleeves, just in case I don't find the same dye lot. I don't know. I will see. Or I will make it very cropped. I don't know. But this is looking like a toddler thing. Yeah. So yeah, very enjoyable. Very enjoyable. And I love this yarn. I really like Isayer yarn. And I'm so happy that now that I have a job, and sometimes I even have 2 jobs, I can afford to buy colors I want and yarns I want. That doesn't mean I'm starting to buy the most expensive yarns. No, but if it is wool and it's something I want and the color that speaks to me, it's a little bit more easy now to buy it. And I think I have another project that I want to talk about it. In January, I got some Hillesvåg yarns, as I've said, and I wanted to do another Sibilla pullover, a cropped one that I don't like it. I don't like how it looks. But when I went last time to Hillesvåg, as I've said, I've tried some samples, and there was a sample I never considered to make it, and it was the Moby Sleepover. They had one made in a dark gray in the same yarn, and this is Tinde from Hillesvåg. This is Pelsul wool, Pelsul garn, and it's a very shiny yarn. It's almost shiny like silk yarns. Anyway, I tried that sample of the Moby made with the same yarn, and it was size 2, and I like it. It was a little bit longer. I didn't like it that long, and I thought, you know what? I can do this for myself. I can do a vest, and I think the only modification I will make is to lower a little bit the front. I hope to be able to do this. However, this is on hold because, yeah, that many projects on my needles. But I'm working at the back, and I'm actually increasing for the underarms. And I'm sure I will have the same garment. And I like the vest to be very fitted with, if possible, a little bit of negative ease. So I'm making the same size I try in the store, size 2. I'm using the same yarn. I'm using the same number of needles. I didn't swatch, of course, as always. And I have to say, this is so enjoyable. It's very hard to restrain myself of making more on this. But I just want to finish at least another sweater, to make progress. So I just have to unravel. I had 3 skeins. I have enough yarn. I am at my first one, and I have here to unravel. So I will do that once I will reach this project. And I think this is a very interesting green, and it's a very new green in my wardrobe. It's a green that I didn't have. It's a green that I think I need because I have some dresses on brown. And it will go so well with my long sleeve linen dresses in brown. I love it. So I think this is the last project I will talk about it. I still have another 2, a Christmas sweater that didn't get attention, and I have another cardigan by pieces that I've made one sleeve and working on the other sleeve, but it doesn't have that much progress because of all other projects on my needles. I got some yarns for new projects. I got this to make a cardigan from my wish list. It will be again a cable. This year I will work mostly cables because I'm in the mood and I love them, and I think they will be wonderful in my wardrobe. So this is Hillesvåg Tinde. It's the same yarn that I'm using for the Moby Sleepover. I have some ask in brown, but guys, I just wish you can see this brown in real life, which has so many shades in it. It's just wonderful. And I actually got a pattern to make this, but I'm not sure I will make this. I might change my mind. So I got this yarn for this pattern from Hillesvåg, and I tried this pullover. It's cable one. It's Elise Genser, or Elise sweater. It's for a different yarn from them that this will work also. This is an interesting yarn. It's 24 stitches, but you actually can get a smaller gauge with this. So it's very versatile. And this is ask. This is Norwegian wool. It's very wonderful. But I'm not sure if I will make, this one. And I got this, but I only have 5, and I'm sure I will need more because I want to, once of course I make more progress with the other pattern, I want to make the Arbues sweater from Berocco, but it's designed by Alison Green. This one is what it was in my wish list. I will put a picture also on the screen. And this is confetti. Again, it's Isaia Aran tweed. Yeah, I would love to make this. But I have 5, so I don't know if, I don't think it's enough. But I will see once I reach this pattern. Yes. And I have another pattern that I want to show you, and I will put a picture on the screen. It's another cable cardigan, but I need to get the yarn because I would love to make like a marzipan or something. Marzipan. And this is a pattern by Thea Coleman, or Baby Cocktails. I think it's her website. And it's absolutely wonderful. I will put also a picture on the screen. It is gorgeous. And I think Fivel from Rauma or Rauma, it will work just stunning with this. Yeah, a lot to cast on, a lot to think about it. I'm sure this will be such a long episode, but I don't want to go before saying such a huge thank you to all the people that will come here and watch this, even for 2 minutes. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time, you taking the time to see this. Oh boy, I feel I rushed so much through the projects, but please let me know if there is something that I miss or some information I didn't let here. Let me know. If you have questions, let me know. If you want me to make an episode with just Q&A, let me know. If you have a question, please leave it in a comment, and maybe I will, I think it will be interesting to come here, work on a project and answer your questions if you have it. Although I really think I'm not an interesting person. I don't think I'm doing such an interesting content, so maybe you are not interested in leaving a question, but that's okay. Now I think I will finish here because I need to go to Bergen. I'm so happy that I'm driving again, and I changed my driving license from Romania because it was out and I had to change it here in Norway. And I take some special courses to drive in the dark, and yeah, because in Scandinavia the weather is different and the conditions are different and the roads are different, and it was very difficult for me at the beginning because I need to, for example, yesterday we went 100 kilometers from Bergen, and we counted the tunnels, and we went through 40 tunnels on 100 kilometers. So that's that. Plus bridges. Plus I had to learn to control my fear because we live in an area that is an island, and it is called Sutra. And to go to Bergen, we have to cross a very high bridge and quite long. And yeah, the climate here, it can be very windy most of the days, or almost. And there is we have a screen at when you enter the bridge, and from both sides, and it says how many meters the wind has per second. And I managed to drive with even 22 meters per second, and it's very difficult because you feel that it's pulling the car, the wind, so it's very scary. Um, of course, I think at 32 the bridge is closed and you cannot cross over unless you can, but it is the police that is crossing with you, and the very big cars, they are not allowed to cross the bridge. So that was very scary and very new to me. A part of the fact that there is hills, ups and downs, and we live on top of the hill, and many times I had problems to go with my came and park my car. There was so much ice, and for me, it's everything. It was new. Plus, I had 16 years break from driving, and I'm working at one of the kindergartens. I am working. Um, it is in a very beautiful area. It's like 30 kilometers from home, so I need to drive 30 plus 60 kilometers every day when I'm working there. And it's there are serpentines, or how do you say in English? And it's like this, and I overcome my fear, and now I'm confident to do this. At one point, there is no way of two cars to pass one along each other because there is no space. And I've had to learn that, and now it gives me such a yeah, I'm not depending on my husband. It's not that my husband don't want to drive me where I need. It's just he's working also, and so much, and his schedule is chaotic, and he's obviously so tired, and yeah, sometimes it's I just give up to tell him, can you drive me to Bergen to the knitting night? Because I know he needs to wait for me and come back at 10 or 10 and half in the evening, and he's up at 3:30 in the morning or 4 in the morning. So yeah, I don't feel comfortable to take his time of sleeping. So now I'm driving, and I feel so great because I can go almost where I want, because I still need to learn the road. But I'm so happy that I've learned to go by myself in Bergen, which was quite an adventure after my husband was practicing with me for many weeks, every weekend, so I can be able to go by myself in the center of the city. So that's what I will do today. I will go and hoping to meet new knitting friends, and hoping to connect, although it's always so weird to go in a place where everybody is doing the same, but nobody knows you and you don't know everybody. And most important, you speak the language, but not, yeah, you understand. But I feel I'm a courageous person usually. I'm not afraid of challenging myself, and yeah, I just want to know people. I just want to share my passion with other people with the same passion. So in the end, I want to thank you so much for being here, for listening. I want to say special thanks to Kristen. She knows who she is. She helped me with the dress. She gave me the idea of this company who's selling my dress. And Lily, we are talking on Instagram, and she's working also the Sibilla cardigan, and I cannot wait to see it. So thank you so much for connecting with me. It means everything. Yes, everything. Thank you. I hope today you got a little bit of inspiration from my podcast, and I'm so happy I could do this today. And happy knitting. Take care of yourself. And I will see you next time. Bye bye.